There comes a time in every life when one must cease chasing shadows and begin commanding light. Many wander in search of wealth, calling it luck, toil, or destiny. But money, like every good thing, is not sought. It is summoned. The universe is a great mirror, reflecting faithfully the words we whisper and the thoughts we dare to believe. Those who beg for abundance find themselves always begging. Those who speak abundance find it rushing to meet them, swift and sure, like a river long held back by doubt. You have been taught to earn money, to find opportunity, to work hard for success. But life was never meant to be a battlefield. Life is a game of spoken law, and words are the keys that open the treasure house of heaven. When you seek, you confess lack. When you speak, you declare power. The difference is invisible, yet it changes the whole vibration of your world. For what you truly believe, what you claim with conviction, must come to pass. Money does not dwell in banks or hands alone. It dwells in consciousness. The riches of life await only your command. Every coin, every opportunity, every open door is drawn by the tone of your inner speech. When you say, "I can't afford it," the universe quietly agrees. When you say, "Money flows to me easily and constantly," that same universe rearranges itself to prove you right. It is law, not luck. The seeker stands outside the gate, knocking endlessly, believing that fortune hides somewhere beyond reach. The speaker walks through, knowing the gate opens to the voice that calls it open. You must cease seeking wealth as though it were distant, and begin speaking as though it were already yours. For so it is. Your word is your wand. Each declaration carves a path through the unseen. When you speak fear, you carve barriers. When you speak faith, you carve roads. Every word has creative substance. It builds, it moves, it manifests. The one who understands this no longer pleads or pursues. They stand still and speak truth. And the invisible becomes visible. Say within yourself now, "I am rich in ideas, rich in opportunities, rich in divine supply. Money hears my name and hastens toward me." Say it not with hope but with certainty. Speak as one already crowned, already prosperous, already chosen by abundance itself. For you are. Stop seeking, stop striving. The door was never locked. Begin speaking. To your day, to your wallet, to your work, to the universe that listens. Let your words overflow with faith, and watch as invisible forces rush to obey the tone of your command. Money is not a mystery. It is a mirror reflecting your belief. When your words declare wealth, your world cannot help but reveal it. Speak now, not of what you lack, but of what you are. Prosperous, magnetic, overflowing with the good that belongs to you by divine right, and as you speak, so it shall be. Words create wealth, not work alone. The entire structure of life is built upon the invisible foundation of thought, expressed through the spoken word. Every fortune, every empire, every success that has ever been born began as a word, an utterance charged with faith, belief, and mental picture. Most people labor under the illusion that only effort and action can produce results. But they are mistaken. Action, without the right word, without the correct vibration of thought behind it, becomes toil, empty, exhausting, and fruitless. Words are not mere sounds. They are living seeds carrying within them the essence of creation. The word is the original act of manifestation, the bridge between the unseen and the seen. When a person says, "I am wealthy," with conviction, they set into motion forces beyond logic. Invisible streams of energy begin to gather, drawing circumstances, opportunities, and people that match that declaration. When a person says, "I am struggling," or "I can't get ahead," the same law obeys, manifesting evidence to prove those words true. The universe is perfectly obedient. It never argues, never contradicts. It reflects. Thus, words are never neutral. They are commands, written into the substance of reality. Work without word is labor without direction. One may work tirelessly, moving from task to task, yet find themselves circling the same mountain of lack. Another may move lightly, gracefully, and every effort seems blessed because their inner speech is aligned with abundance. Wealth is not the product of harder work, it is the product of clearer speech. When words are pure, powerful, and rooted in belief, they magnetize success in ways that no human calculation can duplicate. Words are creative currents flowing through the ether of mind. They build form, attract matter, and direct energy. Every time you speak about your finances, your work, your life, you are writing the next chapter of your experience. To say, "Money comes easily to me," is to plant a seed that must bear fruit in time. To say, "I'm always broke," is to plant a thorn that will surely grow. The wise speak with care, not because they fear words, but because they know their power. They know that to speak is to decree. Wealth begins not in the hand, but in the mouth. Before money appears in your wallet, it must first appear in your word. The one who understands this law ceases to speak of poverty or limitation, for they know such speech binds them to it. They do not join in idle talk of struggle, debt, or economic fear, for every repetition of those phrases tightens the net around the speaker. Instead, they cultivate a language of plenty. They affirm life, prosperity, and flow. They let their words match the reality they wish to experience, not the one they wish to escape. There is a great difference between empty affirmation and divine command. Words become powerful only when they are spoken from a heart of faith and a mind free of doubt. To repeat "I am rich" without inner belief is like writing on water. It disappears as soon as it is formed. But when the soul knows that wealth is its rightful inheritance, that it need not beg or prove itself to receive it, then every word becomes a decree, and every decree finds fulfillment. Faith gives words their wings. Without it they remain grounded, powerless to move the currents of creation. The language of wealth is gratitude and certainty. Those who prosper speak differently. They say, "There is always more coming," not "I hope it lasts." They say, "Everything I touch multiplies," not "I'm afraid to lose what I have." This inner speech creates a mental climate where prosperity can thrive. Just as a plant needs sunlight and fertile soil, wealth needs the right atmosphere of thought. Words are the sunlight of the mind, warming the seeds of success until they burst forth into form. One must understand that the outer world only mirrors the inner conversation. You may appear confident before others, but your silent self-talk reveals your true command. If inwardly you say, "I'll never make it," the universe hears that whisper as clearly as a shout. If inwardly you declare, "I am guided to opportunities that bless and prosper me," unseen hands begin arranging those very opportunities. The power of the word is constant, whether spoken aloud or silently within the chambers of thought. Every word vibrates, and that vibration summons its likeness. Words are also the tools that cut away limitation. When you speak, "I am open to receive unlimited wealth," you are not just describing a desire. You are chiseling away the walls of resistance that once blocked the flow. Every declaration of truth erases an old lie. Every time you say, "I can," you dissolve a past "I can't." This is why speaking consciously is not merely a practice, but a discipline. It requires watchfulness, because careless words scatter creative energy, while deliberate words focus it. The more one aligns thought and speech with the vibration of abundance, the faster wealth materializes. You can work for decades and still live in scarcity if your words contradict your actions. You can also work little and prosper greatly if your words are aligned with divine law. This is not magic, but spiritual physics. Energy follows attention, and attention follows speech. The word directs the current. By speaking in harmony with wealth, you align yourself with the natural abundance of the universe, which is infinite and ever-expanding. Every great fortune has been born first in the realm of the word. Every idea, invention, and enterprise began when someone dared to declare it possible. The spoken word ignites imagination, and imagination fuels action. Without the word, the action is blind. With the word, it is guided. The worker who speaks blessing over their labor multiplies its results. The entrepreneur who declares success before seeing it hastens its arrival. The artist who says, "My work blesses many and brings me prosperity," aligns their creation with the law of increase. Words are the secret architecture behind every visible form of success. In truth, money is not the reward of effort, but the reflection of consciousness. When your speech carries conviction, when your words match the vibration of ease and abundance, you become a magnet to all forms of prosperity. Life must obey the language you consistently use. Speak of lack, and lack will obey. Speak of wealth, and wealth will obey. The universe is impartial. It mirrors your tone, not your tears. It listens to what you declare, not what you desire. Therefore, to create wealth, one must first master the word. Every phrase spoken should be a note in the symphony of prosperity. Speak blessings over your finances, your business, your ideas. Speak as if wealth were your natural companion, as if money were drawn to your voice. Speak success into your path before you walk it. Speak plenty into every empty space. Speak with the authority of one who knows that their words are living forces, shaping reality with each breath. It is not toil that brings riches, but the spoken certainty that riches belong to you. Work is simply the channel. The word is the source. Those who labor with inspired speech find joy in their effort, for they know their words have already secured the harvest. Those who labor without awareness of the creative word remain trapped in endless seeking, unaware that the power to call forth abundance has always been upon their tongue. Words are the divine currency of creation, and the one who learns to spend them wisely finds their world transformed, from struggle to supply, from effort to effortless manifestation, from scarcity to overflowing wealth. Seeking implies lack. Speaking declares power. The mind that seeks is the mind that doubts, the mind that waits for permission to receive. To seek is to confess separation from what is desired, to affirm through thought and word that the good one longs for is still somewhere beyond reach. It is the vibration of distance, of hoping, wishing, trying, but never fully possessing. When a person says, "I am looking for abundance," they unknowingly tell the universe, "I do not yet have it." And so the universe, obedient as always, mirrors that statement by keeping abundance just out of reach. Seeking is an endless pursuit that feeds upon itself, a cycle of reaching without receiving. Speaking, on the other hand, is the act of creation. To speak is to claim, to call forth, to command the unseen into visibility. When you speak with faith, you no longer ask, you decree. The one who speaks abundance does not seek it, for they already stand in the knowing that it is theirs by divine right. The spoken word is not a plea, it is a proclamation. It is the vibration of authority, the language of certainty, the sound of spiritual ownership. To say, "I am prosperous," is to move wealth from the realm of potential into the realm of form. The spoken word activates the law of manifestation because it carries the stamp of belief. Seeking is an energy of delay. Speaking is an energy of immediacy. The seeker waits for a sign before believing, while the speaker believes first and thus creates the sign. Life always follows the vibration of the stronger command. When you seek, you give power to absence. When you speak, you give power to presence. The invisible substance of the universe responds to your assumption of truth. It bends itself to the tone of your word, not the noise of your wanting. The law is impartial. It mirrors what is affirmed. Therefore, every word must be chosen as though it were a decree upon which the universe will act, because it is. The act of seeking keeps the soul in motion without direction. It keeps one in the position of asking instead of owning. There is always another goal, another object, another future moment that promises fulfillment but never quite arrives. It is the great mirage of the human mind to believe that happiness, wealth, or power can be found by running toward them. Yet the truth is that they are drawn, not chased. They are summoned, not hunted. The moment you speak as one who already possesses, you stop vibrating as a seeker and start vibrating as a creator. The difference is not in effort, but in consciousness. To seek is to look outward. To speak is to call inward. The seeker looks to circumstances for confirmation. The speaker knows that circumstances must rearrange themselves to match the declaration. The seeker depends upon effort, chance, or favor. The speaker depends only on the law that never fails. Seeking is rooted in fear. Fear that perhaps the thing desired will not come, that perhaps one is not worthy. Speaking is rooted in faith, the knowing that what is spoken in alignment with divine law must be fulfilled. Faith transforms sound into substance, words into worlds. Every person is speaking their reality into existence, whether they are aware of it or not. The one who says, "I am trying to find success," remains in the vibration of trying. The one who says, "Everything I do prospers," begins to draw prosperity like metal to a magnet. Words carry the blueprint of belief. The vibration of seeking whispers lack, and so life echoes lack. The vibration of speaking proclaims abundance, and life echoes abundance. It is not what you desire that shapes your world, it is what you declare. There is a vast difference between asking and commanding. Asking says, "I hope." Commanding says, "I know." The universe does not respond to hope, it responds to knowing. To seek is to ask the law to deliver something that you do not yet believe belongs to you. To speak is to declare that it already does. The speaker does not chase, they attract. They do not grasp, they allow. Their word is enough, for it carries the authority of divine sonship. The seeker prays from the valley. The speaker prays from the mountaintop, knowing that what they decree is already accomplished in the invisible. Every act of seeking is born from the illusion of separation, the belief that there is me and the thing I want. But the truth is that nothing is separate. All that exists within the one substance of divine mind, and you are that mind expressing itself. To seek from outside yourself is to deny your own creative power. When you speak, you align with the truth that creation begins within. You recognize that the same intelligence that moves the stars moves through your voice. Therefore you speak not as a beggar, but as an heir. You do not seek the kingdom, you reveal it through word. The seeker often says, "I'll believe it when I see it." The speaker says, "I'll see it because I've already believed it." That small reversal of thought changes the entire current of destiny. Seeking keeps you waiting for evidence before you trust. Speaking causes evidence to appear because you already trust. The universe responds to conviction, not to curiosity. The one who speaks with certainty becomes magnetic to the reality they affirm. Every declaration becomes a living vibration that travels through the unseen, collecting form, matter, and circumstance, until the spoken truth becomes visible. When you seek, your words carry the tone of deficiency. You speak of what you want, of what you wish would happen, of what is missing. This language builds walls of delay. But when you speak as though the desire were already fulfilled, you shift from the frequency of wanting to the frequency of having. That shift is the hinge upon which manifestation turns. Speaking changes your internal vibration, and your internal vibration commands the outer world. The moment you stop asking and start declaring, you activate the power that has been dormant within you all along. The great paradox of creation is that you must speak what you wish to see even when it appears absent. You must call things that are not as though they were, for the act of calling brings them forth. The seeker waits for proof before they speak. The speaker knows that speech is the proof. The seeker doubts their worthiness. The speaker knows they are the channel through which divine abundance expresses. The seeker asks life for permission. The speaker gives life its orders. Seeking tires the spirit because it depends on effort without faith. Speaking refreshes the spirit because it depends on faith without strain. When you seek, you place the future above the present and thus postpone your good. When you speak, you collapse time, bringing the future into the now. Every word spoken in alignment with truth is a seed planted in the soil of the present moment, destined to bloom in divine timing. The one who speaks knows that creation is not delayed, it is unfolding in perfect order. Seeking builds walls of expectation, speaking opens gates of fulfillment. Seeking says, "Someday." Speaking says, "Now." Seeking reaches outward with trembling hands. Speaking stands tall with authority. Seeking depends on external approval. Speaking depends on internal conviction. Seeking is the voice of doubt. Speaking is the voice of power. The one who continues to seek wanders endlessly. The one who speaks finds all things drawn unto them. The power of speaking is the power of alignment. Every time you speak truth, you align your human mind with the divine mind. You remind yourself that you are not separate from your good. You are the expression of it. Your words become channels through which the invisible substance of creation flows freely. When you say, "I am prosperous," you are not inventing a fantasy. You are declaring a spiritual fact that must eventually become visible. Speaking is the tool by which you carve invisible truth into visible form. In every area of life, love, success, health, wealth, the principle remains the same. Seeking postpones, speaking produces. The one who seeks stands at the door knocking in uncertainty. The one who speaks knows the door is open and walks through. Words of power replace the struggle of seeking with the ease of command. When you stop seeking and start speaking, you stop vibrating lack and begin vibrating fulfillment. Every word becomes a seed of power. Every phrase a decree of destiny. Every thought a command upon the unseen law that governs all creation. Money responds to belief and vibration. Every form of wealth, every opportunity, every stream of prosperity is drawn to the individual according to the invisible atmosphere of their thought. The world of matter is obedient to the world of mind. What one holds as true within themselves must inevitably express itself in form, and money is no exception. It is not the outer struggle that opens the door to supply, but the inner conviction that it is already yours. The vibration of belief is the unseen language through which abundance recognizes its owner. When you believe that money comes easily, it begins to flow easily. When you believe that it is difficult to earn, it begins to hide behind endless obstacles. Money carries no moral weight. It is neutral, responsive only to the tone of consciousness behind it. It does not bless or punish, it merely obeys. It listens to your inner dialogue and vibrates toward you in harmony with your feeling about it. The vibration of fear repels. The vibration of faith attracts. The belief that you must strive and struggle for money pushes it further away because the vibration of struggle affirms lack. The belief that money is a divine servant, eager to move toward you for good and rightful use, magnetizes it effortlessly. Belief is the silent magnet that directs all energy. Whatever one truly believes, they cannot help but experience. You may speak fine words about wealth, but if underneath your voice lies the vibration of doubt, the results will match the doubt, not the declaration. The law of vibration is precise, it never misses. Life responds not to your words alone, but to the feeling that breathes through them. The emotion behind your speech is the true command. When belief is whole, every word you speak carries authority. When belief is fractured, every word becomes a plea. Money has no mind of its own, it is energy shaped by consciousness. It gravitates toward those who respect its flow, who see it as a natural extension of divine abundance rather than as something rare or limited. If you secretly resent money, envy those who have it, or fear that it will leave you, you create a vibration that blocks its approach. Money is like a gentle current that cannot move toward resistance. It requires openness, gratitude, and a sense of deservingness to flow freely. Those who bless money, who see it as a tool for good, find it multiplying in their hands. Those who curse it, chase it, or cling to it, find it slipping through their fingers. Belief is not an intellectual thought. It is a state of being. You cannot trick the law with words alone. You must feel wealthy before wealth appears. You must feel ease before ease manifests. The vibration of belief is transmitted not through the mouth, but through the heart. To believe is to know inwardly that supply is infinite, that money is always circulating, that nothing and no one can block your portion of it. This knowing becomes a steady frequency, a signal broadcast into the universe. Money, being pure energy, responds instantly to that frequency and begins to align with it. Every time you affirm scarcity, even unconsciously, you lower your vibration to match scarcity's rhythm. Every time you affirm abundance, you raise your vibration to meet the rhythm of plenty. The world of money moves along these invisible waves of vibration, not according to logic or fairness, but according to resonance. The rich vibrate on a frequency of ease, trust, and flow. The poor vibrate on a frequency of fear, doubt, and delay. Change the vibration and the outer world must follow, for nothing in creation can resist a consistent frequency of belief. You can test this law in small ways. Think of a bill you must pay and feel gratitude that the means to pay it already exists, even if unseen. Do not worry or wish. Simply believe and vibrate gratitude. Watch how quickly new channels open. A refund, a new client, an unexpected gift. Then repeat the process on larger scales. The vibration of belief does not measure amounts. It simply responds to the feeling of abundance. The stronger the faith, the faster the reflection in the outer world. Most people block their own prosperity by maintaining a vibration of fear about money. They talk of recessions, high prices, debts, and delays, unaware that every fearful statement is a vibration sent out into law, which must then create more of what was feared. The universe cannot distinguish between wanted and unwanted vibrations. It only amplifies what is strong. Therefore, to worry about money is to command lack. To bless money, no matter how small the amount, is to command increase. Gratitude raises the vibration instantly, aligning you with the flow of divine supply. Belief and vibration operate together like the roots and branches of a tree. Belief is the root. Vibration is the visible expression of that belief. Change the root, and the branches must transform. You cannot hold beliefs of scarcity and expect to vibrate abundance. You cannot speak of debt all day and expect money to sing to your name. Every thought, every emotion, every word contributes to your vibration, and your vibration writes the script of your financial life. This is why it is not outer action, but inner state that determines the flow of wealth. The action is secondary. Belief is primary. Money is drawn to certainty. It avoids confusion. When you hesitate, doubt, or contradict your own affirmations, you send mixed vibrations that cancel each other. One moment you say, "I am wealthy," and the next, "I don't know how I'll make it." The vibration of belief collapses, and so does the flow of money. But when your belief remains steady, unmoved by appearances, you align with the infinite reservoir of supply that never runs dry. The outer world may seem unstable, but your inner world becomes the source of stability. From that certainty, money must respond. Money responds to joy, not tension. The vibration of joy is the highest frequency of receiving. When you enjoy what you do, when you bless the circulation of money, when you feel happy to spend and to give, you move in harmony with abundance. The universe loves circulation. What you give returns multiplied, because giving affirms faith in the flow. Hoarding and fear stop the current. Generosity and gratitude expand it. The vibration of wealth is expansive, never constrictive. It trusts the rhythm of giving and receiving as one motion, not two. Belief also determines how much money feels safe to enter your life. If you secretly believe that too much wealth will bring problems, loss, or judgment, your vibration will repel large sums. You may attract money temporarily, but it will leave as quickly as it came, for your belief cannot sustain it. To truly embody prosperity, you must believe that wealth is your ally, that it brings harmony, freedom, and joy. You must bless it as divine energy and release all guilt or fear connected to it. The universe gives you exactly what your vibration can hold. Expand your belief, and you expand your capacity to receive. Vibration is not created through effort, it is tuned through awareness. The moment you become conscious of your feeling around money, you gain the power to shift it. Sit quietly and sense whether your thoughts of money feel light or heavy, free or fearful. Then choose deliberately to lift the vibration through affirmations, gratitude, or imagination. Picture yourself surrounded by abundance. Feel it, speak it, believe it, until the feeling becomes natural. Once the vibration of wealth becomes habitual, money must mirror it in physical form. Every successful person, knowingly or not, has mastered the vibration of belief. They see money as friendly, ever-present, and abundant. They do not chase it, they expect it. They live in the assumption that they are supported by unseen supply, and that assumption hardens into fact. The vibration of confidence and gratitude precedes every fortune ever built. To the untrained eye, it looks like luck or timing, but it is vibration in action. The resonance between belief and manifestation. You cannot outwork a belief of scarcity, but you can outbelieve any limitation. Once your vibration matches wealth, effort becomes joy, and results come naturally. The flow of money does not depend on outer struggle, but on inner certainty. It is your belief that opens the gate, your vibration that calls the current. Money responds faithfully to both, moving toward those whose energy welcomes it and away from those whose fear resists it. The law is silent, constant, and exact, turning every thought and feeling into visible form according to the vibration from which it was born. Your word is your wand. Command, don't beg. The moment you speak, you set forces in motion. Every syllable carries the vibration of creation, shaping energy into form. Words are not sounds thrown into the air, they are spiritual decrees etched into the invisible fabric of the universe. The spoken word is the divine instrument by which thought takes shape. When one understands that their word is law, they no longer speak lightly, they no longer plead with life, and they never again ask for what is already theirs by divine inheritance. The one who knows their word as a wand speaks not in uncertainty, but in authority, knowing that every command must be fulfilled in its appointed way. To beg is to deny one's own power. Begging tells the universe, I do not have. Commanding tells it, I already possess. Every plea carries within it the vibration of lack, while every command vibrates with certainty. The universe, which mirrors consciousness perfectly, responds not to tone but to belief. When you beg, you lower your vibration to the level of need. When you command, you raise it to the level of mastery. The law obeys the stronger vibration, and that vibration is always faith. To command is not arrogance, it is recognition of divine law. It is the soul remembering its birthright as a creator, not a supplicant. Every word is a wand in motion. The words you use about money, health, relationships, and destiny shape the conditions around you. To say, I can't afford it, strikes against your own wand, sending forth a command of limitation that must be obeyed. To say, I am always provided for, releases a decree of abundance that gathers power as it moves through the unseen. The universe is precise. It records every vibration, every command, every declaration. You are always speaking creation into being. The only question is whether you are doing it consciously or unconsciously. To use your word as a wand, you must speak as one who knows their words are alive. Speak with faith, not fear. Speak with clarity, not confusion. The wand does not work through repetition but through conviction. One word of faith carries more power than 1,000 words of worry. When you say, everything I touch prospers, and feel the truth of it vibrating in your being, the law immediately begins arranging conditions to match it. When you say, nothing ever works for me, the same law works with equal precision, building experiences to affirm your declaration. The wand obeys the hand that holds it. Commanding through the word is not the same as demanding through the will. A demand is an attempt to control, a command is an act of alignment. The one who commands speaks in harmony with divine order. They do not struggle or strive. Their words move easily, resting in the assurance that the law cannot fail. When Jesus said, Lazarus, come forth, he did not plead, he commanded. The power lay not in volume but in authority. That same authority dwells in every soul who understands that their word is backed by the creative force of the universe. Every command must first be spoken inwardly before it can bear fruit outwardly. Inner speech is the quiet wand that directs the outer world. You may appear silent, but your inner dialogue is constantly issuing commands. If that inner speech is filled with fear, complaint, or doubt, the outer world will mirror those vibrations. To use your word as a wand means to master not only what you speak aloud, but also what you whisper to yourself in thought. The law hears both equally. You cannot speak abundance by day and murmur lack by night and expect harmony. Your words must align with one vibration, the vibration of certainty. To command with your word, you must speak from the consciousness of already having. Every true command is made from the end, not the middle. You do not say, I will be wealthy. You say, I am wealthy. You do not say, I will be healed. You say, I am whole. The command assumes completion because faith does not deal in future tense. Faith speaks only of now. The moment you speak as if the thing were already accomplished, it begins to crystallize. The vibration of I am is the vibration of creation itself. Every statement that follows those two words becomes a decree upon your life. Begging diminishes power because it places you beneath the law. Commanding honors power because it places you within the law. When you beg, you acknowledge separation. When you command, you acknowledge unity. To beg is to see yourself as apart from the source. To command is to know that you and the source are one. The universe does not withhold. It waits for instruction. The moment your instruction is clear, the law begins to move. The wand is always ready, waiting for the master's word. Your word carries the vibration of your belief. Empty words fall flat. Words filled with emotion move mountains. The secret of command lies not in loudness, but in feeling. Feel every word you speak. Let it pulse through your being until your entire vibration matches the reality you declare. Speak as though your voice were the voice of divine authority. Because it is. When your emotion and your word are united, creation happens swiftly. When they are divided, manifestation falters. The wand responds to alignment, not repetition. The great error of humanity is speaking against itself. Every complaint, every word of fear, every statement of failure sends forth commands of limitation. The universe does not know sarcasm or pretense. It takes every word at face value. When you say, I never have enough, you are commanding shortage. When you say, I always make mistakes, you are commanding imperfection. The law is literal. It gives you exactly what you ask for, word for word. The wise therefore guard their speech as sacred. They speak only that which they wish to see manifest, for they know that idle words are not idle in their effect. To use your word as a wand requires discipline. You must become a watchman over your tongue and your thoughts. Before speaking, ask, do I want this to come true? If not, remain silent. Silence is better than a careless decree. Speak only when your words carry purpose. Speak as one who shapes worlds. Speak as one whose every sound is charged with creation. The law does not judge. It creates. You are the judge who issues the verdict, and your words are the gavel that seals it. When you begin to command rather than beg, your entire relationship with life changes. You no longer fear circumstances because you know you can speak them into alignment. You no longer feel powerless because you know your word is power itself. You no longer chase opportunities because you know your word calls them forth. Commanding is the recognition that you are never waiting on the universe is waiting on you. Every delay dissolves when the command is spoken in faith. To beg is to live under the shadow of doubt. To command is to stand in the light of truth. The beggar says, please, give me. The commander says, it is mine by divine right. The beggar hopes. The commander knows. The beggar looks to circumstance. The commander looks to law. The beggar fears rejection. The commander expects fulfillment. The beggar vibrates lack. The commander vibrates power. These are not two different worlds, but two different levels of consciousness, and your words determine which you live in. Your word is a creative wand, the extension of divine mind through human form. Every phrase you utter sets creation in motion. To say, I command the flow of divine abundance, is to activate a vibration that must manifest. To say, I am open to receive the wealth prepared for me, is to draw that wealth from the unseen into the seen. The command opens doors that begging cannot find. The universe does not respond to desperation, it responds to direction. The moment you speak as one who knows, The unseen aligns to fulfill your decree. Words spoken with conviction become law in your personal universe. You are always surrounded by the echo of your own speech, living inside the vibration you have created. If you wish to change your world, change your words. Speak not of what is, but of what you choose to be. Speak from the center of power, not the edge of fear. Remember always that your word is your wand, the invisible scepter by which you rule your destiny, the creative tool through which divine energy obeys your command. Speak abundance as your divine right. You were not born into this world to struggle, to beg, or to live in the shadow of lack. You were born to express the limitless richness of the divine through every word you speak, every thought you think, every vibration you send forth into creation. Abundance is not something to earn or chase. It is a birthright woven into the very essence of your being. When you speak abundance as your divine right, you are not asking for something new to be given to you. You are awakening what has always been yours. You are reclaiming your inheritance as a creator within the infinite field of supply that never runs out, never diminishes, never denies. There is no poverty in divine mind. There is only overflowing life, constant growth, unbroken increase. The universe itself expands endlessly. Creation knows no limitation. Every leaf, every ocean wave, every breath of air demonstrates abundance in motion. The same principle governs your life. You live in a world of infinite provision, yet your experience of it depends on your recognition of it. To speak abundance as your divine right is to align your personal consciousness with the universal law of expansion. When you affirm, "Abundance is my divine right," you remind your subconscious mind of the truth it once knew and had forgotten under the weight of worldly conditioning. Most people speak from the vibration of permission instead of possession. They wait for outer approval, waiting for someone or something to tell them they have earned the right to prosper. But the universe never withholds abundance. It simply mirrors your belief about it. When you speak as though abundance belongs to you, the law moves swiftly to confirm that truth. When you speak as though it is uncertain, the law mirrors that uncertainty. The universe has no will apart from your own consciousness. It echoes your declarations with mathematical precision. Therefore, the key to living in abundance is to speak from the position of ownership, not as one requesting favor, but as one exercising authority. You have the divine right to prosper because you are the expression of divine life itself. There is no separation between you and the source of abundance, except the walls built by false belief. Every time you speak words of limitation, "I can't afford it," "I'm barely getting by," "there's never enough," you reinforce those walls. Every time you speak words of power, "I am richly supplied," "everything I need comes to me easily," "abundance flows through me now," you dissolve them. The spoken word is the key that unlocks your divine inheritance. To speak abundance is to remind the universe that you remember who you are. Abundance is a spiritual law, not a material accident. The same intelligence that governs the stars governs your prosperity. The sun does not wonder if it has enough light to shine. The ocean does not question whether it can produce another wave. Life moves forward in perfect confidence of its own sufficiency. When you speak abundance as your divine right, you move in harmony with that same confidence. You become part of the great rhythm of expansion, no longer resisting it through fear or doubt. The one who knows their right to abundance does not fear the future, for they know that divine supply is eternal and ever-present, pouring itself into every open channel. To speak abundance is not to boast but to bless. You are not claiming something to hoard, you are affirming something to share. True abundance is never selfish, because divine law multiplies through circulation. The more you bless the wealth that flows to you, the more it increases to bless others. The divine right to abundance is also the divine duty to express it freely, to let it move through you without resistance. Every time you spend joyfully, give willingly, or speak gratitude, you keep the current of abundance alive. The universe loves movement, and your words are the first motion of prosperity. Speaking abundance as your divine right changes not only your outer conditions but your inner atmosphere. Words carry vibration, and vibration shapes reality. When your words are steeped in lack, your vibration lowers to match that frequency. When your words declare abundance, your vibration rises to the frequency of prosperity, and matching experiences begin to appear. You become a magnet to all that resonates with your new state of being. Clients, ideas, opportunities, and wealth find you without struggle, for they are drawn to the sound of your belief. Your divine right to abundance is not granted by society, education, or circumstance. It is encoded within your soul. It is not determined by your past or your current bank account. The law of abundance is eternal and impartial, responding only to the consciousness that invokes it. Two people can work side by side, one struggling endlessly and the other prospering effortlessly, because one speaks from faith and the other from fear. It is not action alone that determines the outcome, but the vibration behind the action. When you speak abundance with faith, even your smallest actions are magnified. When you speak lack with fear, even your greatest efforts are diminished. To speak abundance is to release resistance. Many hold abundance away because they secretly believe they do not deserve it. They carry guilt, shame, or unworthiness from the past, and their words reflect it. I'm not good with money. I never get lucky. People like me never get ahead. These statements are self-made chains. When you replace them with words of divine identity, I am worthy of every good thing. Money loves to serve me. I am a perfect channel for divine supply. Those chains begin to break. Every affirmation spoken in truth rewrites the patterns of belief, restoring your natural alignment with abundance. The right to abundance is also the right to peace. To live constantly worrying about money is to deny the nature of divine order. Worry is faith inverted. It is belief in lack instead of belief in supply. When you speak peace into your finances, all my needs are met. I live in perfect divine timing. Money flows to me from expected and unexpected sources. The vibration of peace invites provision. The energy that was once trapped in anxiety begins to move freely again, opening new channels of income, inspiration, and opportunity. You cannot speak abundance while dwelling in fear. They are two opposing vibrations. The moment you choose faith, abundance begins to move. To speak abundance as your divine right is to live as one who knows that prosperity is not something to achieve, but to reveal. You do not make abundance happen, you let it happen through you. The divine current of supply is always flowing. Your words determine whether you align with it or resist it. Speak in harmony with the current, and life carries you effortlessly. Speak against it, and you find yourself swimming upstream. The universe is never withholding. It is your words that open or close the gates. Every time you speak abundance, you widen those gates and allow more of the infinite to enter your experience. Abundance responds to the language of certainty. The universe listens for tone, not volume. A whisper of faith holds more creative power than 1,000 words of fear. Speak your abundance, quietly, confidently, as one who already possesses. Speak to your day, to your work, to your home as though every cell of your environment were alive and responsive. Because it is. Say, this home is filled with prosperity. Say, this work multiplies blessings for all. Say, everywhere I go, I radiate abundance. These are not mere words, they are living commands. Each declaration plants a seed in the soil of the unseen, and that seed cannot fail to grow when watered by belief. Your divine right to abundance is not conditional on human approval or material evidence. It is a spiritual truth that stands unchanged beyond all appearances. Even when outer circumstances seem contrary, speak abundance. Even when bills arrive, speak supply. Even when delays come, speak divine timing. Every word of faith, spoken in the midst of lack, is a torch that lights the path toward manifestation. The universe rearranges itself to accommodate your vibration. The law of abundance is exact, and the voice of belief is its activation key. The world may call it confidence, but in truth, it is remembrance, the soul remembering what it has always known, that it was never meant to lack, never meant to fear, never meant to beg. To speak abundance as your divine right is to stand once more in the original truth of being, that you and abundance are one, that supply is infinite, and that your every word has the power to draw heaven's wealth into earthly form.